All right, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Unspecified Podcast, an exciting episode of Unspecified Podcast, as all of them are exciting because there's just so much going on, so much news, so much data and things that people are saying. Okay, we're all going through it. Does that remind you of anything? We're in this together. Anyway, guys, if you guys are disappointed or unsure about the direction of this country or its leadership, I need you to grab this link, okay, and share it out. Click the share button. All right. We definitely need that blessing. How is everybody? Welcome in. Welcome in. Absolute ton to get into, guys. We're going from one end all the way to the other. All right. The YouTube live stream will come to an end and we'll continue on Rumble as usual. So be ready for that. We have some very interesting things to get into on the Rumble side. But man, get ready, y'all. All right, JD, homeboy got first. He said, "Bro Fist, what is up, brother? Bro Fist, good to see you. Swing golly, swing golly, good to see you. Golfing guns, my man. It's tea time, ain't it? Somewhere, maybe. I don't know. Time is weird. All right, well, I suppose there ain't nothing to it but to do it, y'all. So let's go ahead and buckle up. Buckle up, folks. It's going to be a wild ride tonight, okay? Make sure you guys click that share button, comment down in the doobly-doop, and smash like if you haven't already, guys. Subscribe. All right. Hope to see you over on Rumble, too. Okay, here we go. Unspecified Omania. That's right. Deploribus Rex, good to see you. JD says popcorn is ready. American B. Savage, my man, good to see you. Okay. All right. Well, that's enough for the social time. Okay. We got a ton to get into here. All right, folks. I suppose this will be as good a place to start as any. I don't know. You tell me. All right. This is hot, fresh off the press, baby. But you'd already know that if you was following us over there on the X or on the Twitter, formerly known as Twitter, okay, at Still Unspecific. What's this say here? Let's zoom in. Enhance. Oh, I'm enhancing the wrong one. Here we go. Boom. All right. Still no good. There we go. Breaking. White House press secretary announced that President Trump will deliver an important update on Iran in an address to the nation tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern. On April Fool's Day. Oh, let's hope he's not just joshing around, huh? Let's hope it's a good one, not a, Yeah, gas prices are $1.99. Just kidding. Okay. All right. So, that's the word. The word is, the bird is the word, and President Trump will be giving us an address to the nation at 9 p.m. to provide an important update. Okay, it's not an address. This is just the first comment. It's not an address to the nation. It's address voters, and he's losing. Oh, that's what that guy said. Okay. I don't know, guys. I think we're in a pretty, at this point, man, it's laughable. Okay. I don't know. Where are you at? Okay. All right. Was big for Trump both times. You guys ought to know that if you know me. Okay. You also know that we're sitting here in the middle, sitting pretty. Okay. And I mean, I'm telling you, I laugh until we cry, because that's about where we're at. Okay. All right. We'll keep moving here. All right. President Trump recently today signed an executive order ordering citizenship verification for federal elections and securing mail-in ballots procedures through the USPS. All right. So that's an executive order.
So with all of that, I'm very happy to be signing the voter integrity, and I think it's going to be really great. So if you don't mind, I will take some time and I'll make this signature absolutely perfect. So it looks.
You make that signature perfect, bud.
Very good. So far, so good. Okay. So
Wow, what a signature. What a perfect signature.
that's a big deal. Very proud of it. And I don't know how it can be challenged. You'll probably challenge it. You may find a rogue judge. You get a lot of rogue judges, very bad people, very bad judges. But that's the only way that can be changed. And hopefully we'll win an appeal if it is. But I don't see how anybody can challenge it. I don't see how they can.
I totally agree, Zooted Suit. Feelings are on pause for this insanity. Oh, Lord. I'm trying to find my pause button, but, Mrs. Unspecified got me a little bit of an energy drink, so I'm all ramped up. It's hard to lose track of that pause button, man. Let's see. There are a lot of rogue judges, very bad people. I have my thoughts. I think, obviously, the elections need to be a secure situation, smitchy-smation. But, in the state that we live in, they'll turn you away if you don't have an ID. So I guess I'm not used to all this other state stuff where they can just, I don't know. I saw some documentaries recently, some folks, boots on the ground in California. Apparently they sign up a bunch of homeless folks for cigarettes and money, and that's illegal, stuff like that, registering them to vote and getting them to vote and all this stuff. I don't know. So it's a whole sketchy situation. How long's it been going on? Let's see. What Howard Lutnick say about it? Okay. The states run these elections. Okay, let's see what he says. I'm not going to read it here. Cinnamon One, what's up?
So the fundamentals of our democracy are built on voter integrity, right? We all need it. You've said it time and time again. It's a total agreement amongst everybody. So here's the idea. The states, right, run these elections. They will, if they want to use the U.S. mail, the U.S. Postal Service, they're going to get a code, a barcode from the U.S. Postal Service, and they're going to put that on the envelope, and we will have one envelope per vote. None of this time where we have no idea, there's no observers to mail, there's no envelopes, there's no certainty. That's all going to go away. And what the president is doing today is he's going to make sure that mail-in ballots are safe, secure, and accurate, and will have a clear distinction. If you voted by mail, you will have it on the envelope, obviously not on the ballot, but on the envelope. So we will know 1 million mail-in ballots. There'll be 1 million envelopes, and you'll be able to know exactly, correctly, that citizens voted.
All right. It seems like, all right. You'll have to forgive me. The things that I think about this feller here, Mr. Howard, Mr. As Golfing Gun says, Nutlick. Okay, I'm sorry. I had to. Nick Shirley registered his dog to vote in California. Oh, that's adorable. I'm sorry. Charlotte, sometimes good to see you. Good to see you. He says, look it up. Independent Mini United, what is up? We have been graced. That's awesome. I thought Lutnick was already hiding in a bunker somewhere. Yeah. We'll just have to see. We'll see. Now, we got a lot of clips here about Mr. Pentagon Chief Hegseth on Iran. Boy, I tell you, we got a lot of clips here. All right. Let's just go ahead and start getting into it. So that's the update on the smart dog. I know, right? Unspecified, Miss Unspecified, and chat flying by. Hey, Tate, good to see you, brother. Good to see you, man. Let's see. Unpredictable on whether U.S. deploys boots on the ground or not. Okay. The point is to be unpredictable here.
President Trump and boots on the ground. I don't understand why the base, which they have already, they understand, wouldn't have faith in his ability to execute on this. Look at his track record of pursuing peace through strength, America first outcomes. What he's simply saying, and it's exactly true, and I've said from this podium too, we're not going to foreclose any option. You can't fight and win a war if you tell your adversary what you are willing to do or what you are not willing to do, to include boots on the ground. Our adversary right now thinks there are 15 different ways we could come at them with boots on the ground. And guess what? There are. So if we needed to, we could execute those options on behalf of the President of the United States and this department. Or maybe.
Yeah, the volume on that clip is really low. There's not really much else I can do about it. I do apologize. But I get it. I get it. He's saying basically, you know, we're keeping them on their toes. Okay. And this is just a meme in the comments here. But we have, he's trying to say we're projecting all options. Okay. And you don't know which option we're going to choose. Okay. So there might be boots on the ground. Okay. There might not be. All right. Rasta, good to see you over there on the Rumble chat. Curly, what's up? Yeah. Sorry about that. Clips low volume. Let's see. What is he talking about here? Secretary of War Pete Hegseth, I witnessed lethality. Met a junior airman as the sun was going down who asked, when asked what they needed, simply looked at him and smiled. They need more rockets, more explosives. Let's see.
I witnessed lethality. I met a junior airman as the sun was going down and a chill was setting on the tarmac, who, when asked what they needed, she simply looked up at me with a sly smile on her face and said, "More bombs, sir, and bigger bombs. We will happily oblige her." I met the Army targeting team who found and sunk the pride and joy of the Iranian Navy, their fighting position plastered with images of sunken enemy ships. I witnessed lethal.
All right. It's a nice storytelling ability there. Am I really supposed to believe that nonsense? Yeah, the first thing I thought was, how much? How much is that going to cost? But I suppose we're not worried about cost too much. That's not the point, okay? I don't know, folks. Got a bad feeling, man. Got a bad feeling. Okay. Now, Hegseth says, I don't understand why the MAGA base wouldn't have faith in Trump over deploying ground troops into Iran. Just wait.
As far as President Trump and boots on the ground, I don't understand why the base, which they have already, they understand, wouldn't have faith in his ability to execute on this. Look at his track record of pursuing peace through strength, America first outcomes. What he's simply saying, and it's exactly true, and I've said from this podium too, we're not going to foreclose any option. You can't fight and win a war if you tell your adversary what you are willing to do or what you are not willing to do, to include boots on the ground. Our adversary right now thinks there are 15 different ways we could come at them with boots on the ground. And guess what? There are. So if we needed to, we could execute those options on behalf of the President of the United States and this department. Or maybe we don't have to use them at all. Maybe negotiations work, or maybe there's a different approach. The point is to be unpredictable in that. Certainly not let anybody know what you're willing to do or not do. But if anybody has internalized the lessons of Iraq and Afghanistan as the first one, President Trump, to call them out for what they are, he's not going to repeat those lessons. And I think I've been very clear about that from the podium.
Well, if they're pushing confusion, I think they got it. You know what I'm saying? If they're looking to make someone confused, Zooted Suit, my man. Brofist. Okay, got a $10 super chat. Let's see, for 2 gallons of petrol. Hey, I appreciate that, especially these days. Boy, let me tell you, viewer funded, okay? We don't have any slimy tentacles, all right? We're just praying our way through it, Lord. And we thank you, Zooted Suit, and for anyone else supporting, helping keep the lights on, making this type of content possible. I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. Seriously. Okay. Super cool super chat. You better believe it. And we are thankful for it. All right. My trust wanes, guys. I'm weary. All right. I'm trusting in the Lord right now. Okay. Because what we already knew was true is just blaringly in our face. All right. I think we already knew. All right. I mean, so much for draining the swamp. How many things were just an absolute sham? All right. Not that I'm trying to be a doomer here. I'm just being a realist. All right. Hegseth on Iran war timeline. All right. So some more confusion. Are you ready for it?
Not a question I'm going to answer or the president has said definitively. We have our own goals and guidance and things military objectives that we're moving toward and things that we look at. And as he's articulated, he's said 4 to 6 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks, it could be any particular number, but we would never reveal precisely what it is, because our goal is to finish those objectives. And we're well on our way. And the chairman and I look at this every single day. It will be the president's determination, and the president's determination alone, when those objectives are complete and when it serves the interest of the American people to cut that deal. Not a question I'm going to answer.
Yeah. Okay. 5 days or 5 weeks or 5 months, but it certainly isn't going to last any longer than that. Okay. Changes the Department of Defense to the Department of War, immediately loses a war. I don't know. Hopefully not, right? Hopefully not. I think it's kind of silly. Let's go ahead. Let's hear some from, Central Command. Maybe we get some clarity through this confusion. The most recent update from the U.S. Central Command, CENTCOM, Commander Admiral Brad Cooper. We'll see what he's saying.
Hi, I'm Admiral Brad Cooper, Commander of U.S. Central Command, here in the Middle East with our 50,000 service members to provide my 6th update on Operation Epic Fury. Now in our 5th week of the campaign, it is my operational assessment that we are making undeniable progress in eliminating Iran's ability to project power in meaningful ways outside its borders. We don't see their Navy sailing, we don't see their aircraft flying, and their air defense and missile defense systems have largely been destroyed. Despite our clear dominance, our forces remain vigilant. It's long been my belief that every success we have begins and ends with our people, and our warfighters deployed forward are doing outstanding work. During this trip, I've had the privilege to recognize and award our troops for their courage, resilience, and tenacity as they continue to go above and beyond. Yeah.
Pretty fun work.
Great job. Great job. You enjoy it, huh?
Thank you, sir.
How long you been in?
12 years, sir.
Fantastic. How you doing?
Pretty good, sir.
I'm from Ohio.
Okay, what part?
Toledo, sir.
Okay, great. Fantastic. Fantastic. Thanks for what you're doing. Much appreciated.
Yes, sir.
What's your job?
I'm a wizard for the Strike Eagle.
Okay, and how many missions have you flown?
Probably a couple dozen at this point.
And how long have you personally been out here?
Been out here only since February, sir.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, thanks for keep up the great work. Thanks so much. In the meantime, I'm wishing you all the best. I think of you every day and with a lot of pride. So thanks for what you're doing. I really appreciate it and couldn't be prouder. I met with our service members who are operating the most sophisticated and largest active air defense umbrella in the world, right here in the Middle East, to defend against Iran's indiscriminate missile and drone attacks. Since day one, our warfighters have also shown unmatched reach and lethality in systematically dismantling Iran's drone, missile, and naval capabilities by delivering a massive amount of firepower. Every branch of the military is achieving unprecedented success. Our naval forces have launched waves upon waves of cruise missiles and fighter aircraft from the sea. U.S. Air Forces have extended our reach with refueling tankers while executing a high volume of airstrikes into Iran with fighters and bombers. Our soldiers and Marines have delivered long-range strikes from land and mounted a robust air defense to not only protect Americans, but our partners as well. And our Space Force has given us the ultimate high ground, delivering space superiority, which has been a critical enabler to this fight. After witnessing the absolute professionalism, discipline, and dedication of our men and women in uniform supporting Operation Epic Fury, I just could not be prouder. And I know that their families, friends, and loved ones back home share this pride. So to all the moms, dads, husbands, wives, friends, and loved ones back home, thank you for everything that you're doing to support our outstanding warriors. There is no adversary too determined, no mission too difficult, and no task too great for our soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, Guardian, and Coast Guardsmen that make up the most powerful military the world has ever seen. To all our warfighters, keep up the great work and Godspeed. Thanks so much.
We definitely could use a Death Star. I've had the worst run of bad luck, you guys. It's been a nightmare. Oh, Curly, we're going to be praying for you. I'm sorry to hear that. That ain't no good at all. It sounds like the U.S. Navy SEALs might possibly have some bad luck as well. It looks like, this is breaking, there might be Chechens versus U.S. Navy SEALs in Iran. Iranian media has claimed that Chechen units, or am I saying that right? Chechen units are ready to deploy to Iran in the event of U.S. ground invasion. Okay. So we could see a possible. I mean, is that Russia getting involved? Let's see. Grok, how likely are troops from the Russian Republic of Chechnya to fight alongside the Iranians against? Would this be the first time Russian troops engaged U.S. forces directly? Let's see. The claim is from Iranian state media, Press TV, only, with no confirmation from Russia. Kadyrov, let's see, or independent sources, his forces have talked tough before for propaganda value. Likelihood of Chechen units actually deploying and fighting U.S. troops in Iran, low. Russia is committed in Ukraine, and sending official forces would trigger direct superpower clash neither side wants right now. Not the first time Russian-linked troops engaged U.S. forces fought Bolsheviks directly in the 1918-1919 Russian Civil War intervention. Soviet pilots downed U.S. planes in Korea. Closest modern U.S. airstrikes wiped out 2 Wagner mercenaries, Russian-linked in Syria 2018. At Grok, well, the U.S. armed forces went up against the Wagner Group soldiers in eastern Syria years ago. How did the Americans do against the best of the best? Boy, we're just in a rabbit hole. We'll see. In the February 2018 Battle of Kasham, or Deir ez-Zor, 500 Wagner mercenaries plus Syrian forces attacked U.S.-backed SDF positions after ignoring ceasefire warnings. U.S. air artillery strikes, AC-130s, F-15s, Apaches, HIMARS, killed 200, 300 Wagner troops in hours. U.S. allied losses were near zero. Wagner was routed, not the elite force hyped in that case. All right, let's go back a little bit. Okay. Let's see. The strait was open before a certain country and USA bombed Iran. Maybe they should stop bombing Iran? Question mark. Well, we can't do that because then they'd get a big boom weapon, right? All right. I think we're in it, guys. I think we're in it. Okay. But they sure enough did release a video. Absolute bombshell. Russian-Chechen combat units officially declare they will deploy to Iran to fight alongside Iranian forces if the U.S. launches a ground invasion. They are openly framing it as a holy jihad against American power. The conflict is expanding globally, potentially. Let's look at this. Propaganda. That's a whole mess of propaganda right there.
State media is now claiming that combat units from Russia's Chechen Republic have declared themselves ready to deploy to Iran if the United States launches a ground invasion. According to Press TV, these forces are loyal to Chechen leader Ramzan Kadyrov and have told Tehran they will fight alongside the Iranian armed forces if US troops move beyond air and missile strikes onto Iranian soil. The reports describe the ongoing US-Israeli war against Iran as a religious war and say the Chechen side is framing any direct intervention as a jihad, a battle of good versus evil in defense of the Islamic Republic.
Okay. We've got us another few ounces of propaganda. All right. Let's see. Doobie, good to see you over there on the Rumble chat, my brother. What? Anti, what's up, brother? Good to see you. I never say hi to Anti because I just always expect his presence. So I'm just like, oh, good. It's a normal stream. Anti's here. You know what I mean? So that is like, I do make a mental note of it, but I don't immediately say hi. I just expect him to be there. I don't know why. Let's see. Curly says the responsible. Okay. It's definitely being staged as a holy war. Oh boy. Oh boy. All right. Let's keep it moving here. All right. Breaking. President Trump tells allies like the UK to get their own oil. Get your own oil after not helping in the Iran campaign. The USA won't be there to help you anymore, just like you weren't there for us. All right. Once bipolar people thinks it's all sweet, the more you F around, the more you find out. Buy our oil or go take it yourself is the most expensive sales pitch in history. Every ally just heard you. You're on your own. Oh, boy. Okay. All right. What do you guys think about that posture? Get your own oil. Get your own oil. Get their own oil. Okay. And then we've got a clip here of the president. Breaking. President Trump. Not only is he telling us that we're going to be leaving Iran very soon. Let's see if that's true. What else does he say? If France or some other country wants to get oil or gas, they will go up through the Hormuz Strait and will be able to fend for themselves.
People understand it. We'll be leaving very soon. And if France or some other country wants to get oil or gas, they'll go up through the strait and Hormuz Strait. They'll go right up there and they'll be able to fend for themselves. I think it'll be very safe, actually, but we have nothing to do with that. What happens to the strait, we're not going to have anything to do with, because these countries, China will go up and they'll fuel up their beautiful ships and they'll leave and they'll take care of themselves. There's no reason for us to do it. We hit them hard. We got rid of a lot of the radicalized lunatics along the strait. But if they want something, but I would say that within 2 weeks, maybe 3, we're hitting them very hard. Last night we knocked out tremendous amounts of missile making facilities. As people understand.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Golf and Gun says, that's a bizarre statement. Mrs. Unspecified said, calm, rational statements are boring now. So they're just avoiding that. Okay. It won't make the news. All right. It's gotta be crazy. Patty, what's up? Good to see you. Also Anti, what's up, brother? Good to see you. All right. We'll keep her moving then. And this is just a little data point here. The Nimitz-class aircraft carrier USS George H.W. Bush has departed Norfolk, heading for the Middle East. That's a big boat. Good Lord. That's a big boat. All right. Just a data point there, let you know. All right. Seeing on how, we just said we're going to be leaving very soon. We've got a Nimitz-class aircraft carrier. All right. The USS George H.W. Bush is on its way, since we're leaving soon. Anyway, this is Eric Prince, founder of Blackwater PMC, warns against U.S. ground op. Let's see what's he talking about.
So yeah, your initial assault into Carg Island is going to be mighty thin, because those aircraft have to cycle, and that's assuming you don't have any losses from maintenance or from missiles. Do you do a mass drop of the 82nd on the Carg Island? Again, that's pretty sporty, and an airborne invasion in a place that has thousands and thousands of missiles. Not to mention, the Iranians have certainly been paying attention to modern drone warfare, and have certainly implemented FPVs down to the squad level. I mean, you see videos of the Israelis in southern Lebanon losing tanks, losing armored personnel carriers to the same FPVs that the Russians have been using with great effect in Ukraine. So it is, again, a fight against Iran. They're not Arabs. They're Aryans. They are a highly intelligent, highly skilled warfighters, and it would not be the pushover by comparison that you see of the Iraqi army that worked.
I vote Death Star. Oh man, I don't know why that one's getting me. All right, source from that is War Room. All right.
So yeah, your initial.
He's saying it's sporty. Someone needs to act grok. Did the Iranians act grok? Did the Iranians invent chess? Never mind. Don't look that up. All right, let's keep moving. Speaking of drone warfare and having thousands and thousands of drones, let's see here. What do we got? Just in, Iran says it will attack major U.S. tech companies across the Middle East, including Apple, Microsoft, Google, Meta, NVIDIA, Oracle, Tesla, HP, Intel, and IBM, says The Hill. Okay. So they're basically like, look, we know that y'all can't protect them, and we don't want them here. Y'all can't, unless there's going to be some ground situation that we don't know about. This is more on the topic. IRGC orders all big tech employees. Okay, so the IRGC orders all big tech employees to leave their workplaces immediately, and that targeting operations would commence Wednesday at 8 p.m. local time. Let's see. Urgent. Iran threatens big tech employees. IRGC orders Google, Apple, Microsoft, Tesla staff out by 8 p.m. Wednesday or face attacks. Trump's endless aggression has made civilians and global. Okay, well, that's this person. Okay. I don't know. All right. That's a data point. All right, we'll keep on sliding by. We'll slide through. I got another little bit on that. This is from RT. And it's just the same thing. Iran threatens Microsoft, Apple, Google, and other top U.S. companies. For every assassination, one American company will be destroyed. So for every assassination, that's a new data point. I didn't see that. Expect destruction of their relevant units starting Wednesday, April 1st. Is this a joke? Are we going to be having a bunch of April Fool's jokes? I mean, I kind of might have a little April Fool's PTSD. I'm expecting Trump's announcement tomorrow to just be a joke. Maybe we'll wish it was a joke. Okay. Oh, don't worry. We're going to talk about aliens here soon enough. Doesn't that just sound crazy? Imagine, I had this one dude say, when you said your podcast name was Unspecified Podcast, I started thinking UFO woo woo. And now all of a sudden the government's talking UFO woo woo. You know what I mean? Okay. All right. So there's your list. I don't know if you can see it. Cisco, HP, Intel, Oracle, Microsoft, Apple, Google, Meta, IBM, Dell, Planter, NVIDIA, JP Morgan, Tesla, GE, Spire Solutions, G42, Boeing. These companies should expect the destruction of their related units from 8 p.m. Tehran time on Wednesday, April 1st, for every assassination in Iran. Okay. That's a good picture. I'm going to have to save that one. That's a good one. All right. We'll see. What did President Trump? He heard about it and he said something about it. I'll show you. All right. Nope. Didn't show you. There we go. I got you. Come on over here.
Threatened a bunch of U.S. companies today in the region, including Google, Apple.
With what? What did they threaten them with? PP guns? Or
Well, that's
they don't have much left to threaten.
my question for you is: are you?
I don't know.
US
I mean, what are they?
companies-
You made a statement. What did they threaten them with? I don't know. Go tell me. How did they threaten them?
Well, all I know is that they threatened them, sir.
What does that mean?
Fair enough.
You said something
You
nasty.
have is the government in touch with these companies? Are you helping to backstop them?
You don't even know what the threat was. What was the threat? I haven't heard it. What was the threat?
I'll get back
Did
to
they
you.
say they're going to blow them up? They're going to hit them. They're not. You know what they're not going to do? They're not going to hit them with a nuclear weapon. Yeah.
Is it something you're concerned about, sir?
No.
Iran's IRGC issues a warning that they will target 18 U.S. technology companies if the U.S. continues targeted assassinations of Iranian leaders beginning on April 1st. Those companies include
really?
NVIDIA, Apple, Microsoft.
Most of those people are dead already. Yeah, Peter.
I got one.
Okay. All right. Well, what are they going to do? Shoot them with PP guns? That's what it sounded like he said. Let's see. What did he say?
I don't know. Go tell me. How did they threaten them?
Well, all I know that's
They don't have much
question.
left to threaten.
My question for you is: are you?
I don't know.
US
I mean, what are they?
companies-
You made a statement. What did they threaten them with? I don't know.
Okay.
Google, Apple. is
With
the-
what? What did they threaten them with? PP guns?
PP guns. He did say PP guns. Okay. I know, A. Taylor. I know. That's so true. I wish we could just tell everybody. JD Vance says it too. Let's see here. Let's see. Little Marco Rubio. Oh, pew pew guns. Okay, I get it now. Oh wow, that's disgusting. Okay, let's keep going. Careful these days. Okay. Iran's foreign minister says Iran will not accept a ceasefire, but seeks a complete end to the war, not only in Iran, but throughout the region, Al Jazeera says. Iran's foreign minister added that Tehran is ready to deal with any ground conflict. Okay. Let's see. Israel says it will not join any U.S. ground operation in Iran. And I'm thinking that's because they were just last week talking about military collapse. They're so low on numbers. So they literally don't have the forces to back this up. And then, they do a preemptive strike and get us involved and all that. Anyway, we'll keep her moving here. Okay. All right. This is also in the news. Shelley Kittleson has been kidnapped in Baghdad, and authorities are actively searching for her. Iraq's interior minister confirms here. Okay. And that's definitely no good. I'm going to try and look her up real quick for you guys. Maybe you guys know who she is. Shelley Kittleson is a freelance journalist who focuses on the Middle East and Afghanistan. With her work published in various international media outlets, she has covered topics such as the Syrian civil war and the situation in Fallujah post-ISIS. And let's see if we can go to an article. Let's see. This is the most normal looking. So yeah, prayers for Shelley. That ain't no good. It can't be any good. But let's see. There are reports that U.S. journalist Shelley Kittleson has been kidnapped in Baghdad. She works with BBC Foreign Policy and Politico, trying to confirm the news. All right. Ain't no good. All right. We'll keep her moving then. I do remember. I love that show. SEAL Team 6 was a good show. Is that the right name? SEAL Team. Yeah, it's just SEAL Team. All right. Let's see. I'm not sure if this clip was for Rumble or if this clip was for the YouTube show. Let's see. Marco Rubio, we'd like you to imagine for a moment.
And at the end of the day, I think that if there are people in Iran who now, given everything that's happened, are willing to move in a different direction for their country, that would be great. Imagine in Iran that instead of spending their wealth, billions of dollars supporting terrorists or weapons, had spent that money helping the people of Iran, you'd have a much different country.
Whoa, couldn't you say that about us?
So we are always hopeful that that would exist over there.
The level of the lack of self-awareness is astounding. I want you to imagine what's happening with America right now, Marco Rubio.
Yes, Marco. Imagine cleaning up our own streets here in America if we didn't spend billions on weapons for fake wars in the Middle East for Israel. Imagine that.
This is America. I don't even really know the song, but this is America. This is America. This is America, Marco Rubio, idiot. Think like with these, you'd think that you'd be able to hear yourself as you're talking.
You want to imagine something, Marco Rubio? Imagine a presidential cabinet that weren't blackmailed. I want you to imagine that for a second.
This is Clown World. This is
okay. Maybe this was for the Rumble section. Okay, I think that one might have been for the Rumble section. But he did bring up that certain country. All right, and speaking of that certain country, massive IDF airstrikes on Hezbollah terror infrastructure in Beirut, Lebanon. Boy, I tell you over there, they had not playing around, man. They are slanging them things left and right. Seriously, up and down, over here and over there. Okay. All right. Not only are we going at it with Iran, but we got Israel unilaterally going at Lebanon. Okay. Jeez. Golly. Golly. Did you see that? Look at that thing. Bam. Insane. I hope ain't nobody in there. Bam. That's crazy. Unreal. Unreal. Uh-oh. Check the Rumble chat. Oh, my goodness. Holy moly. We got a dadgum. Is that a Rumble rant? Got a $1 Rumble rant over there. Ahoy, unspecified friends. Maybe the big goal is to dispose of all the old manned hardware as an excuse to replace it all with unmanned. And I actually have a video showing for the Rumble section. So I'm excited you said that, because that's really gonna line up really well with this clip that I have where they're using a certain Terminator situation. And it ain't AI. You know how dangerous close quarters combat is. If you're interested in that topic at all, I really hope that you follow us over to Rumble when the YouTube show ends. Another Rumble rant that would spur wartime production and boost the economy. Interesting. Interesting. All right. Hide your bulldozers. Hide your sheds. Yep. All right. Benjamin Netanyahu says, we are working on transforming Israel into a super nation in the region and globally. Okay. All right. All right. I don't even know if this is in English.
And this is the guarantee for our future. We are working on transforming Israel into a super nation in the region and globally. And we were able to do so thanks to our soldiers and our captains and all those who fought and those who died. And of course, thanks to your solidarity and your steadfastness. And this.
You're right. He does sound different. You know, the most incriminating things are never said in English. You know what I mean? When he really comes out forward with it, he's like, well, let's cover this up so most of them Americans don't get the wrong idea. Okay. All right, guys. I need you to grab your shifters. We're about to switch gears here, buddy. All right. I hope you're ready. I hope you're ready. This is crazy. This is Matt Gaetz. Okay. Unreal. Matt Gaetz reveals he was briefed by the U.S. Army about a secret hybrid breeding program in which captured aliens were breeding with humans to create a hybrid race. Okay. What? I mean, how crazy. Normally, this is in the back end of the show. Okay. This is not normally something that we do in the first section here. He says he was told this was a secret military programming involving aliens breeding with humans who were kidnapped from war zones. Oh, it just keeps getting better or worse. I don't know. The purpose of the project was to engage intergalactic communication. What the heck? Benny Johnson?
I mean, I had someone come and brief me who was in a military uniform, worked for the United States Army, that was briefing me on the locations of hybrid breeding programs where captured aliens were breeding with humans to create some hybrid race that could engage in intergalactic communication. An actual uniformed member of the United States Army briefed me on that.
Non-human biologics, interracial alien.
Wasn't it also the Benny dude, Benny Johnson? Didn't he also do that interview with JD Vance talking about he thought aliens were demons? Now you take that dot, you connect it over here with this dot. Guys, the news is getting crazy. I'm not the guy that made the news. I'm bringing it to you.
Mating? What the F is going on? Look, wait a second. You had whistleblowers tell you this kind of thing? Can you please unpack that?
Yeah, I had a guy who was uniformed. He was a senior enlisted with the United States Army, came into my office in Crestview, Florida, in a non-classified setting. I had members of my staff there. And what they explained is that the military ran a very secret program where aliens that were living were in forced breeding programs with humans that had been abducted from war zones and from even the caravans of migrants Now, again, I didn't verify this, but what the whistleblower was telling me is that there were like between 6 and 12 locations around the country where this happened. And what he wanted was a group, members of Congress, to all show up at the same time at all of these different locations so that any of those activities could not be moved. And of course, it's a physical impossibility to get members of Congress.
I can't. Okay. Forget interracial, bud. We're going intergalactic. Where we're going, okay, we don't need racial. Okay. We're leaving that behind. Good Lord. I can't even say that. We graping aliens up in here. Okay. Okay. All right. I can't. But it doesn't stop there. Let's see. Senator Babbitt just announced that humans would be very surprised if we find out who isn't entirely human when responding to Matt Gaetz' claim of being briefed on alien breeding camps. You guys can go look all this up yourself. Australian Senator Babbitt. I wish I could say more, but unfortunately, everything I know about the alien hybrid program is classified. Well, not anymore. I mean, the program's not classified now. Let's just say some of you would be very surprised who's not entirely human. That's all I'm authorized to disclose at this time. And apparently that's, oh boy, that's a good picture. I'm saving that one. Okay. That one, I relate with that one in some weird way. Isn't that a good looking UFO? That's the best UFO I've seen yet. Jacked up. Yep. Yes, sir. Find me on the back of a jacked up tailgate. Let's see. Lord help me. Okay. Oh, my brain. It's like a brain freeze, but it's from the news. I don't know. Is that normal? Okay. All right. In other news. All right. I would say in all seriousness, but apparently those are all serious. That's all legit stuff you can go look up for yourself. Thomas Massey is sounding the alarm. Congress is about to pass a liability shield for Bayer. Okay, let's see. What's he talking about?
In the Farm Bill, I'm still trying to get out of it. Was successful in getting this out of prior bills is immunity for a German company called Bayer that makes glyphosate. This is not to grant farmers immunity. This is to grant the corporation immunity if they give farmers contract a form of cancer or non-Hodgkin's lymphoma from this chemical. If this makes it into the Farm Bill, you won't be able to sue for that. And I know they're dealing with some similar legislation at the state level. One of the things.
Okay. All right. I mean, vaccine liability shield.
The Department of Health and Human Services just extended the liability shield for COVID vaccine makers through the end of, we'll let you guess, 2029, the year that Trump will leave office. What are they shielding manufacturers from if these vaccines are so safe?
Plus, HHS's vaccine injury compensation program still doesn't cover injuries from the COVID vaccine. However,
okay, they are saying the V word way too many times. We can play that in the Rumble section. That's another good picture. I'm going to save that one right there. All right, here we go. All right. Had a little bit of a mix up. We're not out of the UFO section yet. UFO expert Stephen Greer warns that rogue actors inside the government are now on the verge of staging a fake alien invasion across the entire planet. I mean, it definitely would change the news from the Iran situation, I guess. We would all need to come together, you know.
The big one would be this, what Werner von Braun warned about on his deathbed. He said, he said, we are going to hoax an alien attack on the planet. It's all a lie, but it will trick and fool almost everyone. So we're trying to expose that. But see, if this festers much longer with that group that have the technologies I'm talking about, in a minute, they could stage this and it would fool. Well, it had. I mean, look at what they've been doing for decades, fooling everyone. Everyone's saying, oh, those are alien events. And, you know, our military guys chasing these objects thinks those are military, right? But they're not. I mean, or alien, they're military or covert aerospace programs. So the ability to hoax and attack on our planet is real. And
what would be the goal in them doing that, staging a really false alien attack on the entire world? What would they accomplish?
They want to unite the world around a military junta, a totalitarian system. And how do you do that? How do you get one race or one ethnicity or one nation to stop fighting with each other? You create a bigger problem up there, and it unites everyone against a common enemy. But in that uniting of the world in war instead of peace, they can then exert all manner of totalitarian controls. That has been a 70-year plan. I have a CIA document from 1953 or 54 stating that they can use the UFO issue to great advantage for its, quote, psychological warfare value. So once they got close and mastered the technology in the mid-50s, and they knew they were close to that in 53, 54, then what has happened is that they've started a long-term program to brainwash the public that there's a threat out there. Now, the question is, will they brainwash President Trump and other people? We're providing the information we have, but there are some devils on these deep state operations around the president, giving him the opposite perspective. So this is getting into like, well, which of these narratives is it going to be the true narrative or the false flag narrative? And when you have someone like the president who's very busy, and you have to do a one-sheeter for him, and he's doing a million things a day, it's very easy for people who are in the system he trusts, who are actually foxes in the hen house, who are bad actors, for him to take their advice.
Okay. Why is the moon upside down? Yeah, that is a thing. We saw that the other night fishing. The moon was upside down. Yeah. All right. I don't know. We're going to see some April Fool's stuff. I mean, Trump is supposed to make an announcement, but it's supposed to be about Iran tomorrow at 9 p.m. And yeah, check out your notifications. We should be watching that live. Make sure you grab that notification. All right. We're going to be doing a Bible study tomorrow, Revelation chapter 7 over on Rumble. I hope to see you there. And then shortly after, we're going to be watching President Trump's announcement together. Watch party. Okay, get your popcorn and your drinks ready. All right. Bill Gates' most sinister move yet. What are you talking about?
They're moving on to microneedle patch implants funded by the Gates Foundation. These are already developed.
It's a nit comb for the leg. Like at school, if you get nits or lice, you have like a head lice. You put like a little nit comb like that. You scratch those little guys out. But now Bill Gates has ensured that it's loaded up with delicious chemicals.
And they'll actually install quantum dots in your skin, which are detectable with smartphones in real world settings.
Everything will be okay. April Fools.
That will be used as a biological vaccine passport system where you won't need it on your phone. You'll just scan your wrist or wherever this quantum dot material is inserted into your body. So that's what they have planned, I think, for the next vaccine passport system.
We just need to mess around. There's a lot of lipid nanoparticles.
Fun with those lipid nanoparticles, Bill. Don't let people tie you down. Sure, you weren't popular at school. Sure, people saw you as a nerdish figure. But this is your time to fight back with lipid nanoparticles. Get yourself a dog comb thing, tiny, embed it in people's skin. You're in charge now. Finally, Bill Gates has seized control of the planet.
Hold on, folks. I'm definitely not supposed to be doing this. This is a Rumble thing, but this is what it made me think of. Okay. That's probably all I can get away with. Okay. Nerds. All right. Oh, thank you. All right. Just in, average U.S. gasoline prices have now hit $4.02 a gallon, up 10 cents from last week and $1 since last month. But explain to me this. If we're energy independent, why is our gas going up? For my feeble mind. Somebody please explain that. Stupid prices is right. Okay. Stupid is right. And this is official, like a ref with a whistle. All right. We've got AAA out here giving us updates, letting us know. All right. It's expensive at the pump. Good Lord. The diesel price spike is insane. Absolutely insane. Look at that. I wouldn't want to climb that mountain. Okay. It's because all petroleum goes to a global market. Oh, well, thank you for clarifying that, TPP. Okay. I have all these people who are like, we're energy and we're independent, you know. And I guess not if it's a global market then, huh? Okay. Okay. All right. All right. Let's keep her moving then. What does Trump say about it? Because he put out a little thing about it. Here, come on over here. All right. Trump tells Americans, get over it.
The first one that affects Americans' home gas prices. Today they hit $4.
We're $4, yeah, and we have a country that's not going to be throwing a nuclear weapon at us in 6 months.
But Americans are feeling the effects in the interim.
And they're also feeling a lot safer.
What is the plan to bring them back down?
All I have to do is leave Iran, and we'll be doing that very soon. And
Anyone feeling safer? $4 per gallon. Feeling safer? Happy about it?
they'll become tumbling down. And stock prices were up today almost to a record because they know two things. Number one, we have a safe country. We had to take a little
Do you feel any safer than you did a month ago? Honestly?
detour because we had a madman named Khomeini who sadly is no longer with us.
Absolutely, Tobias will be praying for your mom's dog. I pray that his back gets better. His or her back gets better. Yeah, not happy at all. Not happy at all. Not any whatsoever. Okay. I mean, I would have to have a whole, yes. What is your mama's dog's name? That would be good to know. I've got some steam to blow off. I'll say that. Whew, talk about a rant. I could say some things I might regret. Oof. I'll tell you what. Just throwing this in there. It's a little data point. Just wanted everybody to note. Just in, Oracle reportedly begins massive layoffs, notifying fired employees they were jobless in an email sent at 6 a.m. You imagine waking up to that. You get your morning cup of coffee. You pop up your laptop. You go look at your emails, see if anybody's talking about you at work or something. You know, because I can't imagine what a lot of these folks do at these tech jobs. From the what's those videos called? You know what I'm talking about? Where they're a day at work, right? And it looks like adult daycare. They've got a cafeteria. They don't really do anything but answer emails. You know, I think it's terrible they're getting fired. But this might be very astute. They retained all H-1B type of situation. You know, very possible. Very possible. Hey, at Grok, is that confirmed? Yes, confirmed by multiple sources. CNBC, Business Insider, New York Post, and others report Oracle started global layoffs today. Estimated 20 to 30,000 jobs. 18 to 20% of workforce via 6 a.m. email saying today is your last working day. With immediate system lockout. Okay. Employees on X, Reddit, and Blind are sharing firsthand accounts. It's part of AI cloud restructuring. AI cloud restructuring. So that tells me they moved the humans out the way. You know what I'm saying? Okay, did I miss the name of the puppo? Oh, she is your dog. Mocha. We're going to be praying for Mocha. Okay. Would you mind letting us know what kind of dog it is? I would like to know. Okay. All right. Well, there it is, folks. I think they're moving the folks out the way for the AI. Oracle is ready to become a super, legally. What is it? Corporations are represented as people, right? Don't they have rights like people do? They're about to become a super corporation. I don't know, guys. Lord help us. All right. Here's another data point. Google research reveals quantum computers may be able to crack Bitcoin's private keys in just 9 minutes. So much for that being secure. Google warns quantum attack could crack Bitcoin in 9 minutes. Google's new white paper says it could take only minutes for a quantum system to crack Bitcoin. All right. All right. Putting that, I know a lot of folks that I have respect for. And, you know, they invested a lot of money into the Bitcoin thing. And I just can't. Okay. I'm a tangible fella. You know what I mean? If you can't hold it in your hand, is it really yours? Is it? You know? All right. We'll keep on moving here. I thought this was an interesting point. All right. You may not. You may disagree. I think this is interesting. Let's check this out.
Slaves owned by the Pharaoh of Egypt were required to pay him 20% of their income, their harvest from their crops, from their farm. Fast forward to 2025, the average U.S. taxpayer pays 24.8% tax, along with 7.65% FICA. On top of this, you pay sales tax, property tax, gas tax, and many other taxes. The slaves in Egypt were doing better than we're being taxed. You can't overtax people.
This is 100% true, and it's a shock, isn't it, to everybody? We are essentially making less than when we were slaves, than what they were slaves thousands of years ago. How crazy is that? That's 100% accurate, historically accurate. I was aware of these facts. Tariffs, the way this country ran, it became the richest, most powerful nation in the history of planet Earth. Not by squeezing the population and breaking everybody's back, working for just 40 cents or 50 cents on the dollar. You know, if you live in New York City, your tax rate is essentially 57.5% to 58%. You're only allowed to keep 42 cents of every dollar that you earn because you're giving it all to the state, to the city, to the government, to the county. Then the prices keep going up. You're choking to death, but you don't know that, do you? Because you still buy all the bullshit that's being peddled by CNN, MSNBC, the New York Times, etc., and so forth. Wake up, America. You're being robbed, you're being cheated, and you're being lied to.
It's kind of disgusting, isn't it? Kind of disgusting. Duffy says Bitcoin isn't really money at all. Tobias says she is half golden retriever and half Aussie shepherd. Well, that's a beautiful mix. Our newest addition fur baby is half of a black Labrador retriever. I love that breed. And Aussie shepherds are just as reliable as the day is long. Okay. Beautiful work dogs. Well, that's a blessing. We'll be praying for them. For Mocha. All right. Keeping Mocha in the prayers. Pray for their back. Let's see. Just disgusting. Talking about this tax situation, which we'll be careful while we're over here on YouTube, I suppose. Let me see. Where are we at? Okay. We're over here now. All right. Good Lord. I don't know what that little woman done got up and gone and did in the kitchen, but it is smelling good, buddy. Let me tell you what. All right, folks, this is the point in the show where I brofist you and thank you for joining us this evening. Guys, we need your help. We need your help in the algorithms, okay? And I get it. These days, folks don't want to hit like. They don't want to share folks out. But we need you. We need you, especially in times like these, folks, okay? We're trying to, create a community, watching history unfold together, okay? Trying to view things through biblical lens, okay? And use discernment. We seek truth. And if you seek truth, if you're disappointed with the way things are going right now, you should definitely grab this URL, click the share button, send us to your best friend, drop us in a group chat, send us over to a Discord, share it out. Okay? Thank you guys in advance. And thank you so much for the support. Everybody on the channel members, okay? Anyone who super chatted, Zooted Suit, I very much appreciate that. Like you could not believe. We have a whole nother section of stuff to get into before we head over to Rumble. So buckle up. Also, if you're interested in heading over to Rumble, the link is in the description. But we're not gone. Okay, we're not gone. Let me figure out how to get this over here. This is the halfway point. Okay, where I might as well, say something to you. All right. Thank you so much for the support, guys. Marshall Island declares 90-day state of economic emergency. Okay, just a data point.
Many of you are probably not aware of this, but the Marshall Islands just declared a 90-day state of economic emergency on the 30th of March of 2026. And this was done via executive order from the president, Hilda Hein. This is due to basically address a growing fuel crisis out there, which is affecting like the Philippines. It's affecting all these small island nations that are completely reliant 100% on international imports of fuel because they don't have any domestic production of it on their, like in their territory. So the Philippines doesn't domestically produce any fuel. The Marshall Islands don't domestically produce any fuel. And it's bad. It's real bad. Fuel prices have like skyrocketed through the roof there. They have massive shortages right now. The population of the Marshall Islands is like roughly 60,000 people, and that's spread across dozens of atolls. So they're very spread out. They're almost entirely dependent on imported fuel, food, building materials, and other.
Appreciate you, Laser. I appreciate that. Heading over to the Rumble chat. Huge blessing. All right. If you guys are over there on Rumble, you're already ahead of the game. We're going to show a bunch of information over there that is just a little too sensitive for YouTube algorithms. Okay. We're trying to hang on over here on YouTube, but we can definitely we can read between the lines. Okay. Mama didn't raise no fool. Okay. They don't want us over here. They don't want us seeking truth. They don't want us talking about what's going on. They don't want us being critical of what they don't want us being critical of. All right. Make sure you head over there and support us over on Rumble. Smash follow. Okay. Dopey dude, what's up? What's up? Good to see you, Dopey dude. All right. Let's get back into what this dude's talking about.
Essentials and literally has no domestic energy production. This is the conflict that's going on in the Middle East right now, and the Strait of Hormuz being kind of like choked off has caused sharp rising prices for fuel across the entire world. But specifically, it's impacting these small island nations that they don't have any energy infrastructure to like produce anything. The declaration enacts several immediate steps to manage the crisis, including fuel rationing within specifically certain government agencies, salary freezes to help control public spending due to the rising costs, and then a formation of a recovery coordination committee to monitor the situation, as well as hold regular meetings and coordinate responses to it. This is one of the earliest and most visible national level reactions to the energy crisis that the conflict in the Middle East is causing all over the planet right now. And you got to remember, like the Marshall Islands GDP is approximately 290 million.
Patriot Lady, good to see you. Good to see you, Patriot Lady.
Which is very small compared to a lot of countries, right? So they're extremely vulnerable out there. Same thing with the Philippines, same thing with Thailand, Malaysia, all these other small nations. They just don't have the domestic support. They import everything. They have to import everything to support their populations. Anyway, the situation's still fluid, but it's very volatile, and the 90-day window is supposed to allow them some time to monitor and potentially seek alternative options for international assistance. So far, there's no reports indicating that there's widespread civilian rationing or immediate humanitarian shortages, but the focus is on proactive government-level controls to avoid worse outcomes.
Okay. All right. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Monitor and potentially.
No bueno. No bueno. All right. Let's take a little peek over here. If you haven't been paying attention to the U.S. stock market, you might want to see this. And I appreciate you, Earth Cow. Appreciate you. Good Lord. Whatever she is cooking is smelling good. Let me tell you. Good Lord, woman.
If you haven't been paying attention to what's going on with the U.S. stock market, you are going to want to see this. The U.S. stock market might have just lost its biggest buyer. Let me explain. For more than 50 years, the world has operated on what's called the Petrodollar system. And the way this works is that the largest oil-producing countries in the world, like Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, Kuwait, Iraq, and Qatar, all sell their oil for U.S. dollars, whether they are selling to the U.S. or not. Now, when they get these U.S. dollars, they then go out and buy U.S. stocks and bonds. But why would these countries agree to sell their oil for US dollars in the first place? Well, the arrangement came into place right around the moment that this guy ended the gold standard in the 1970s. The US and Saudi Arabia made a strategic agreement in the mid-1970s where the US promised military protection, weapons, and securities guarantees, and Saudi Arabia agreed to sell their oil exclusively in US dollars and to reinvest their surplus oil profits into US bonds and other assets. And the other Gulf countries essentially all fell in line. Sounds like a cool arrangement, right? Well, in case you somehow missed it, the Persian Gulf countries have been taking a beating since the beginning of this conflict in the Middle East. And so this arrangement is being tested, especially considering the idea that these Gulf Coast countries might not have had anything to do with the origins of this conflict. And this might have been exactly what Iran wanted. Not too long after they blocked off the Strait of Hormuz, where 20% of the world's oil and gas flows through, Iran told the world that they're willing to let ships through if they pay a toll in Chinese yuan. That is a direct attack on the US dollar system and the US stock market. And that's not to mention that Iran's parliament speaker called anyone who's buying US treasuries a legitimate target of the regime. Now back to this idea of the US stock market losing its largest buyer. It turns out that Japan is the largest buyer of US assets. And it also turns out that Japan is one of the biggest losers of this conflict in the Middle East, as they import somewhere near 95% of their oil from the region. This might be putting Japan between a rock and a hard place on their allegiance to that US dollar system. But what's looming in the background is that this could be part of a larger plot against the US dollar by the BRICS nations, which include Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, and others who have been looking for a way to circumvent the US dollar system for years. And this might be their moment. In late 2025, the market value of gold held by central banks surpassed the value of US treasuries for the first time since the mid-1990s, potentially signaling an end to the US dollar standard and an end to the automatic buying of US stocks. This mostly happened due to the massive rise in the price of gold, which a lot of people were calling out as kind of weird because gold never moves like that in times of peace, potentially foreshadowing what we see now. With Iran blocking off the Strait of Hormuz, forcing countries to really consider their alliances, did the US stock market just lose its biggest buyer? And did gold just replace the US dollar as the world's reserve currency? What do you think? What did I miss? What did I get wrong? Let me know in the comments down below. And be sure to like, follow, and subscribe to stay up to date with all of this as it evolves and much more.
Rutro, why is it starting to feel like Red Dawn up in here?
If you haven't been paying attention.
Me and my son are rewatching Red Dawn. We watch a little bit every night. Man. All right. I don't know. That don't sound good. That doesn't sound good. James says, what's a tater? Oh, man. We must be paying the sexy aliens in gold. Oh, man. Oh, no. All right. Let's hear from the farmers. Listen up. Prices are going to absolutely go insane when fertilizer and petroleum get combined with tariffs. Let's see. What's he talking about?
We don't have any way to pass those additional costs on. And we're already looking at very small profits per acre on crops.
I've never seen prices jump to levels like they are now as fast as they've jumped.
We don't have any.
All right. Tractors like this require a lot of diesel fuel, worrying farmers as prices hike up. Yeah. Man. High fuel costs also impact fertilizer costs, bringing those prices up as well. We were just talking about how many men did this piece of equipment replace. And I don't know. It depends on the size of the land and the person who owns it. But I mean, we used to be agrarian, and there used to be a ton of jobs in the working the farms. Man, talk about what are we going to do? Lord, we need prayer. All right, we'll keep her moving then. This post here is it's a little crazy sounding. 45 million could die of hunger. Iran war energy crisis. Let's see. What is he talking about? What is he talking about?
to this.
I believe that those who are involved in this conflict, even they cannot predict what will happen. So it makes things even more difficult for us. But despite everything that is happening, well, there are some estimates that you can compare this situation with the coronavirus pandemic that impeded the development of.
Does this sound familiar? In 2020, we were told that lockdowns will only last a few weeks. It lasted years. Now, instead of a health crisis, we could be entering a period of peak energy, and that could be just as dangerous as a virus. Resources gets tight. History shows what comes next. What you're seeing right now, rationing in multiple countries, governments trying to reduce travel. This is what constrained systems look like. The next phase is not just higher gas prices, it's prioritization. Industries over individuals, governments over citizens, systems over freedom. It's what I've been saying for years. The future will be controlled by three things: compute, data, and energy. And energy is the foundation of it all. Most people don't understand what's happening until it's too late, but not you, because you follow me and I make sure I break down exactly who wins and what comes next.
All right. American shows that even if he isn't pumping gas, the price he's being charged still keeps on climbing. Rut-row. This is in Louisiana, but it's happening all over America. This isn't the first clip. We've shown a clip like this as well. I don't know. Is this happening to you guys? I've seen countless videos like these. We are being robbed blind. Ugh, disgusting. Disgusting.
Hell no. Come on, wait till the no.
Yeah, it's just going up. And he ain't doing nothing. And it jumped. So look. He ain't doing nothing. Oh, Lord, you imagine they just took $6 from you like that? Oh, man. What's this doing? The pump is reading, but fuel not coming out. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. All right. Oh, boy. The worst part hasn't even started yet. Let's see, what's this guy talking about?
This is going to be probably one of the worst economic hits since the Great Depression. I think it's probably going to be worse than the GFC, the Great Financial Crisis of 2008 to 2012-13. I do not see a way out of this now. Especially if it gets worse, then you've really got to prepare for the worst now. And I still don't think the general public is aware. If you're watching this, if you've been watching me for the last 4 weeks, since I've been warning about this 4 weeks ago now, you are still way ahead of the general public. They do not know what is about to hit. And you can tell they're just acting like everything's normal. I just can't believe it. I can't believe how everyone's acting like this. Everything is normal and it's just going to be resolved very shortly. Food prices aren't going to go up. You're just making this up to create content. There's not going to be fuel shortages. You're just making this up to make content. Oh, there's not going to be energy lockdowns, and Australia and New Zealand haven't got problems. You're just making this up to create content. This is genuinely what people are saying. I don't know what to say. As long as you're protected and you're taking the right measures, that's all that matters to me, to be honest. So thanks for watching.
I think we need to be praying to prep. At least that's what I'm about to be doing. Give them bread and circuses and they will never revolt.
This is...
Let's see. American Nurse says the nursing industry is waking up to our healthcare system being all about profit.
I never thought I would be making a video like this, but America, we need your help. We are nurses, we're awake, and we see the corruption that's happening in the healthcare system every single day. And we're finally seeing what decades of profit-first business decisions have done to our communities. Our nation is sick, Our nation is lost, and none of that happened by accident. It was engineered by the system to profit off of all of us suffering. We've tried to fix this at the state level. We've tried as unions. We've begged, marched, testified, and every single time we've been silenced. I stand here for those who have lost their life to the system, for the families who never got their answers, and for patients who trusted a system that betrayed them. This isn't just a nursing issue. This isn't just a hospital problem. This is a national crisis. We, the people, need.
Good Lord, how many national crises can you have at one? I mean, I didn't know we had room for all of this, but yeah, there's room for it. Good Lord.
We need to take back our healthcare system. Every American is affected by this. Every family, every community. And if we don't stand up today, more lives will be lost. More nurses will break. More patients will suffer. We've launched a national petition for federal laws to protect nurses and to protect patients. Please stand with us. Sign the petition.
The healthcare system's broken. It's better than Canada, but Lord. The healthcare racket is a massive wealth extraction scheme disguised as wellness. They do not want to cure you because a healthy patient stops paying the monthly premiums. It is all about the bottom line, keeping people just sick enough to need pills, but functional enough to keep grinding at their jobs. The medical complex is just a giant subscription service for misery. Follow the cash, follow the cash flow, and you will see they are farming your health for profit. Laws got us into this situation. I hope there is a solution without having to make one more law that could end up being abusive to the public and nurses. All right. Just in, California startup R3 Bio revealed to be working to grow headless human clones for organ harvesting. Yep, you heard that right. All right. R3 Bio is a company, and they just recently revealed they're going to be growing headless human clones for organ harvesting. Let's see. Gons from Face Like the Sun says, at this point, is it no longer conspiracy theorists were right, but conspiracy theorists didn't go deep enough? Realizing reality is way worse than dystopic science fiction ever could have imagined. Yeah. Okay. All right. This is a big whoa moment here. All right. It's a little update on Palantir. All right. What do you know about it?
Many people have seen a police program that's being used called Palantir. It is in your police officer's car on your police officer's computer. So while you've got the person pulled over, you can start to drill down on this person. It's not just like a DMV photo and an NCIC anymore. You can see all their bank accounts, the balance in their bank accounts, the last times they declared cash somewhere. You can see every time they hit a flock camera anywhere in the country. Flock is a giant national traffic monitoring system that is basically everywhere now. And they're taking photographs at every intersection all day. And it's using AI to like read license plates and put identities of people, places. And it's just keeping all that data, like all of it. That's what they've got in their car right now. And we're not getting that in discovery. We're not able to confront it. And we're not able to use it as Brady evidence. We've got Fourth Amendment issues galore, obviously. I didn't realize how prevalent it was. There has never been a surveillance program in the history of the United States that was not used brutally and in a corrupt fashion.
Lost my camera there for a second, but we're back. I'm not cool with that. Okay. All right. I happen to like my Constitution. All right. I happen to like my Fourth Amendment. Seems like they're building a totalitarian police state all around us. Right. Not cool. Super not cool. Lots of disgusting stuff happening, guys. I think this was supposed to be a Rumble section here. This might not be a Rumble section situation here. but it looks interesting. All right. I'm going to pull this back and we'll go to Rumble with that. We'll pull that out. All right. All right. Here we go. This is who they're focused on. This is what they want right here. All right. This is a hospital just for robots.
Any of those robots
Come on over to the Rumble section, guys. I'm telling you, we got some really cool stuff tonight.
have any problems throughout, it could be hardware or software, they will go to like the hospital. Let's say it's a knee, lose your knee, like you fall, we can stiffen the joint and we can limp off. So we can lose like a lower body motor and it literally limps off stage, heading to the hospital. While it's limping there, another group from the healthy part of the hospital will then come in and resub it in on the dock to go in and do work. All that's happening through robot communication levels. You can be like literally asleep while this is happening. We run them 24/7. It could be at 3 a.m. and it will happen. This is not even like the future stuff. Future stuff is going to be robots building robots. They will go out and they will just do autonomous work and they'll just be like everywhere. You'll go to the Bay Area at some point and you'll see more humanoids and humans in the next 10 years. Any of those robots have any problems throughout, it could be hard.
Great. Anarchy. What's up, brother? Good to see you. Terrible news. I appreciate that. It's wonderful. That's just great. All right. What in the bippity boppity is this? It just reminds me of Terminator. Okay. It just reminds me of Terminator. All right. It was a documentary, folks. All right. All right. Now we're going to be switching gears. We're coming towards the end of the YouTube live stream, guys. We've appreciated having you. It's not over, so don't go anywhere. We still have several clips to get into. Some of the most important clips, actually. It's kind of funny how it works, but it is what it is. All right. So we're on the off ramp, right? But we're not getting off yet. Okay. So let's go ahead and dive into the most important clips. This one I thought might be a Rumble one as well, but I think this one, a bunch of kids, okay, are saying Yeshua, Jesus Christ, is returning soon. They're predicting this week, which I'm not a date setter. I'm not saying it's this week. But let's check this out. A bunch of people are reporting their kids talking about Jesus coming back.
So a lot of young people right now are having dreams about the good guy coming back and the world ending. And it's a really strange phenomenon because they're all saying that he's going to come back next week. This video was made last week and Easter is this weekend. So I know a lot of you are skeptical about this, but before you click off of this video, I want to show you guys some of the comments at the end because I think they're very interesting. And I think even if you are skeptical, you'll be interested in seeing what they have to say.
So tell me why my 4-year-old just said to me as I'm driving, "Hey, Mommy, the world is going to end next week." Cool. He says it's going to end next week, and there's going to be a big fog, and that we're all going to go to Jesus. So if you had any plans for next week, I'd probably cancel it because the 4-year-old has spoken.
So I went down to the comments section expecting people to be memeing about this, but I actually ended up finding most of the people were completely serious and saying that their kids were saying the same thing. Like this one that says, "I'm actually tripping right now. Earlier today in the car, my son said, 'Mommy, Jesus is coming back next week.' Yup, my 7-year-old asked me if we knew about the big asteroid. Pretty wild when we've been having all of these meteor sightings all of a sudden, but they weren't the only one. Here was someone saying, 'I had a dream that we were taken by a meteor. I hope that I'm just paranoid from all the meteors.' And this person confirms that someone had the same fog dream. This is so odd because my boyfriend just had a dream of a very eerie fog that's coming. I hope your little one is right, but don't worry, it keeps going with more people saying the exact same dream. My 4-year-old just had a dream on the way home on Sunday and said the good one is coming back. My 8-year-old keeps talking about the end of times too. He said, like, I'm glad Jesus is coming back, but I'm sad. I'm not going to become a grown-up. Jesus is coming back before then. Aw. And these last two that I clipped were just so weird. Well, my daughter said that the dinosaurs were coming back next week, so she's obviously joking about this, but I came back with a actually moment. It said there's a movie releasing about that. Genuinely. Pretty sure there's a big fog in the trailer. It's called The End of Oak Street. kind of weird. So yeah, there's obviously a lot of predictive stuff, if you get my drift. And then we see this other comet corroborating it. My son said that dragons were going to come from the sky. Now, who do you think the dragons are? Who are the lizards? Who are the dragons in that old book? Why do you think they got rid of dragons from our history? You might want to look into that. But if you know anyone who might be interested in this information, share this video with them. Like to boost it in the algo and follow for more videos like this one. The big event is definitely coming soon, but will it be next week?
I don't think it'll be next week because people are saying it's going to be next week. But I definitely do hear soon. I can look around and I can tell some stuff is going down. But in my opinion, some major prophecy hasn't happened yet, and it has to happen beforehand. All right. We'll say, I thought this was really interesting here.
And so what's unique about the Shroud of Turin is that it has an image of a brutalized, crucified man that has complete correspondence with the crucifixion narratives that are embedded in the Gospels. No one else was crucified in the Roman Empire the way Jesus is. This is the crazy thing, the blood type that's on it. 2 Jewish hematologists studied the blood, Helen and Adler. They're Jews. They don't have a theological axe to grind. It's type AB blood. It's human blood. And the reason the blood is still red 2,000 years ago is because this blood has been traumatized. When you're experiencing torment and trauma, your red blood cells break down and create extra bilirubin. They secrete it, and that's what's kept the blood red all of these years. Type AB blood is Semitic blood. Less than 6% of the world's population has it. If there was ever a priestly line of blood, it'd be type AB blood. The blood itself has high levels of ferritin in it, which means the crucified man was experiencing organ failure, kidney failure. We believe he lost 1/3 of his blood volume during the flogging, and its high level of creatinine. He was dying. So again, if you were going to
all
hoax
this from the blood
just
samples
from the blood
that were in
samples
the fibers.
These are published in academic journals. Here's the bottom line. 102 academic disciplines have studied the Shroud. 600,000 hours of scientific research. And I believe the Shroud is authentic based on their research because I'm not irrational. They all cannot explain how there's an image in the Shroud. So it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck. It might be a duck.
I have a theory. It reminds me of the Transfiguration. It's very possible that at some point,
So what's
so bright an image was put into it. I don't know. Proof of Noah. Let's see. What's this guy talking about?
You know, the world right now is scarred with the evidence of a global flood. You know about the Marianas Trench and all these deep water trenches.
He said marinara, but I think he meant Mariana.
Where we can't. How you think they got there? The scripture says the fountains of the deep burst open, leaving all around the planet massive cracks in the floor. Scientists have found plankton at the top of mountains, an organism that only grows underwater. When the scripture says the waters rose above the highest mountain. Come on, y'all playing around. The scripture says that ship came to rest on the mountains of Ararat in the Middle East. The bottom of that ship has been found in the 1940s by a pilot flying over the mountains. They have found petrified wood, petrified iron, and an anchor stone with the names of 8 people on it. There is a town near that mountain that was named after Noah. The Lord said that there was a firmament, a ground between the waters above and the waters beneath. There was a layer of water that wrapped the whole world. Where you think all that rain came from to fill the earth above the highest mountain? That water probably protected people from aging too fast. That's why they lived for 400, 500, 600, 800 years. And after the flood, you see the lifespan of man going all the way down.
Yeah, and Dr. Kent Hovind also says that there would have been a higher concentration of oxygen. So basically, you could run much faster, much further on much less breath. You would heal much faster. A bunch of amazing things. I'm telling you guys, how many nights in a row do I have to say, go check out Dr. Kent Hovind's, either his seminars or his debates. His debates are legendary. Seriously, you are missing out if you have not checked out Dr. Kent Hovind debates. Okay, he debates Ivy League professors, and they eventually stopped debating him. Not because he was crazy or anything, they are the ones that would get out of line. They stopped debating him because they couldn't defeat him. No one. He came through and no one, he made hardcore high league professors basically look like they were learning. They don't know anything. And so they got tired of that. Okay. The enemy was like, dude, don't go debate him. He's going to make you look like a fool. And you're supposed to be this big, tall, strong professor. All right. Let's see. What's this about? Greedy pastors.
Nathan Atfeld exposing a lot of different greedy pastors who are doing things for money instead of for God. And it's a dangerous job.
The whole point of a shepherd, of a pastor, because pastor translates to shepherd, is to raise up his flock and then send them out. My entire biblical goal is to steward you in the faith and grow Sean to where Sean goes, I'm ready to leave. I'm going to go start my own. That's the point of the church. But man, what a bad business practice, because you are my money. So no, I'm not going to send you out. I need you here, Sean. I need you here building this machine that we built, this business. It needs you. But God didn't tell you to build a building. He told you to build the body. Those private jets are all excuses over here in the business side, and they'll point to the Bible and find a random obscure verse to justify it. And boom, that jet is justified. They'll try to raise $20 million or whatever.
Galatians 4:19. Hallelujah. My children, for whom I am again in the pains of childbirth until Christ is formed in you. Paul was saying he was raising them, feeding them, giving them food and water until the Lord is formed in them. Then they are going to do what he is doing. Build them up, and then they go out and make disciples.
Amen. Amen. That's a good one. We are a royal priesthood. All right, check this out.
You're meant to be mature. You're meant to be complete. You're meant to be perfect, dare I say. Why the religious people go off? What did he say? What did he say? We've gotten so lost from the truth. It's crazy. You're meant to become high priest. We are a royal priesthood. Governments want us to destroy Christians the first couple hundred years of the church. Why? They were deeply in truth, and it was destroying different systems because people didn't want to chase the world anymore. More and more people wanted to chase God. They're messing up our money. They're messing up what we got going. They're messing up the system that we got in place. They want to chase God. We're trying to have them chase this over here. We're trying to have them chase that over there. The brothels are getting empty. What's going on? We got to get back into this place where we're learning spirit and truth. And I know we are. Hallelujah. John 4:23-24. For in the last hours, the worshipers of God will worship him in spirit and truth because the Father seeks such. God is spirit. People are starting to understand God more and more. For us to just stay in this loop in circles and circles, going to church week after week after week after week, not even spiritually growing, dealing with the same sin 10 years after you gave your life to the Lord, because you're somewhere that truth is not being taught to the extent that it needs to be taught for you to be delivered.
I'm just checking all the breaking news before the YouTube section ends, because what winds up happening is we go over to Rumble and then I check what's going on for any breaking news. And if you're over on Rumble, you get the breaking news, but if you're over on the YouTube show ends, right? Sorry, I'm just reading. President Trump to attend Wednesday's Supreme Court hearing on birthright citizenship, making him the first sitting president to attend oral arguments at the nation's highest court. Wow. This is just in from Iran's ambassador to UK on Trump. We are witnessing very big change of his message for Make America Great Again. Now it's changed to make who, certain little country, great again. He's serving to the Israeli regime, not the American people.
From the Iranian perspective, is that what you believe? Do you believe that Israel persuaded Donald Trump into this war? And if that is true, if that is what you believe, do you believe Donald Trump can end this war without Israel agreeing?
I think that you can ask this question from the Donald Trump, not me. But I do believe that.
I'm sure you have a view.
Yeah, I think that we are witnessing very big change of his message make America great again. Now is changed. Make it Israel. No, he's serving to the.
I mean, it's kind of true. It's kind of true. All right, let's refocus up here. Let's refocus up. How can I be sure of my salvation?
The Bible says that when you confess Jesus Christ as your Savior and receive Him into your life, something happens to you and you change. You can't be the same. If you can accept Jesus Christ and be the same as you were before Him, what do you need Him for? No, when He comes to live within you, stuff starts to change. I mean, some people, you've heard stories about, I became a Christian, I threw all my alcohol away, threw all my cigarettes away, got all my girly magazines and burned them up, and I did it that day, and that doesn't happen for most people. That's really unusual. Most people get saved, and what happens when you get saved? The Holy Spirit sets up shop in your heart, and He starts working on you little by little. He cleans this up over here, He changes this over here, He gets this attitude right, makes that relationship better. And little by little, you notice things are happening in your life. You're being changed. You're being transformed. You're not being reformed. If you were being reformed, that would be something from the outside in. No, transformation's from the inside out. And it's an inside-out job because Jesus Christ now lives within you. When He comes to live within you, He makes you into a different person. And He does it in different ways for different people. Not everybody's on a trajectory like that. Some people are like this and like that, But change is true for everybody who has become a Christian. Can I get a witness?
Amen. I know that's true. All right. We got one more post little clip here before we head on over to Rumble. This is John MacArthur. Let's see. What's he talking about?
It's a horrible thing to tell people, I think, that you were saved by grace and grace alone, but you're going to live the rest of your life in danger of losing your salvation. If that's true, then I went from the realm of grace in my salvation to the realm of law in my sanctification. That is not what Scripture teaches. We stand in grace. Never does that change. Since our peace and our access, listen, is purely on the merits of Christ and His work, it is all by grace. We can't earn it, nor can we maintain it. It is all grace. And grace always forgives and always forgives and always forgives and always forgives. That is its nature. That is its essence. In Galatians chapter 5, might look at this for a minute. Galatians chapter 5, you have been severed from Christ. You who are seeking to be justified by law, you've fallen from grace. Can't have both. You're either saved by grace and kept by grace, or saved by law and kept by law. You're not saved by grace and kept by law. And I've said this through the years, look, if I have to keep myself saved, I can't. Put it another way, if I could lose my salvation, I would. I would. And if I could get it back, I'd get it back and lose it again. If it was possible for a believer to lose salvation, every believer would do it. If it's up to me, I can't maintain it. I can't maintain it.
Yes, indeed. Ephesians chapter 2, verses 8 and 9. For by grace are ye saved through faith, and that not of yourselves. It is the gift of God, not of works, lest any man should boast. Amen. Amen. Okay. Boom, boom. For by grace ye are saved through faith. Through faith. Okay. Not of yourselves. It is the gift of God, not of works, lest any man should boast. All right, YouTube. All right. We've made it. We love you, YouTube. Channel members, thank you so much for your support. Seriously, you're keeping the lights on. folks who send super chat or help support through any of the links in the description down below. We thank you, especially in times like these, guys. Okay. Obviously we're not running on, what's it called? Rainbow dust and unicorn farts or something like that. All right. We thank you for your support. Thank you for clicking on tonight's video, guys. If you want to help us out for free, you can leave a like, leave some comments, tickle the algorithm, leave some posts down in the doobly-doo down below. Look forward. If you want to come join us on Rumble, you can come join us on Rumble. It would be a blessing, a huge support to go over there, smash like on the stream, and follow. We're going to be doing a Bible study tomorrow on Rumble night. Tomorrow night on Rumble, we're going to be doing a Bible study going over Revelation chapter 7. We've been going through each chapter. It's super important. Now's the time to be getting into it. We're going through it with Pastor Stephen Anderson, leaving no stone unturned, verse by verse. Okay, so that there's no confusion. All right, it's very important that we understand, tribulation, Antichrist, prophecy. All right. When is the rapture? When is the wrath of God? Okay. Very important to get that information. Okay. So we'll be doing that on Rumble tomorrow night, and look out for the notification over here on YouTube, guys. We're going to be covering Trump's April Fool's Day announcement. Okay. It's going to be a very important announcement over there on tomorrow, April Fool's. Hopefully it's not a joke. Oh, Lord, help us. All right, that's all I can say. Thank you so much, everybody. We love you. Love you, YouTube. We're out of here. We're heading over to Rumble. I hope to see you over there. Click the link in the description. Should be the first link in the description. Head over there. Smack a follow, okay? You make your boys' night, okay? It would be a blessing to see you over there, all right? Much love, everybody. Bro fist, y'all. Bro fist. Good night. See you on Rumble. We're heading over to Rumble.